Game Beard.
Okay, here I'm going to show you how to build a shipping container for Junk Runner Skirmish, right? Now, you're going to print out your pages and you're going to cut them all out. And unfortunately, there's going to be a bunch of them. But here you can see I cut them out. Now, you really only need one of these to open. On the one that needs to open, that's for your cards, you'll also print out this part. But for all your other containers, they're just going to close up like boxes. So you can trim off the excess of this. It's like there's an inside part that folds over. You just cut that off on all your typical boxes, right? So here they are. Now we want to start by folding this thing into shape, right? So I'm just gonna, you want to use a straight edge on the edge of your table. The nice thing is it's a box, so you probably already figured it out. But there are a couple tips that I need to show you where to glue so that it's a little more seamless. So I'm going to fold this thing here. Make sure this is lined up. Okay. Folded. Okay, so I folded those. Now I have to fold these edges. Ooh, that one didn't line up so great. It's okay. Okay. And then finally I need to fold this tab over, so I will. Alright, so I got that. Here's my box. You can see all of the pieces, and you can kind of almost even test fold it. So this tab is where your door is going to be glued onto. So right here. So I'm going to do that first. So you can see it. I'm going to add glue here. And you want to get it right up to that black line, but not, you don't want to overlap it. You want to, yeah, something, I don't know. You'll see. You know, even if you mess one up slightly, you have so many to make. By the time after making a couple of these, you'll be a pro. You'll know exactly what you need to do. I also like to press down on this side too, because this, you want this to be one with the rest of your shape. Am I shaking that table? I might be. Okay, so there you can see. So I glued that on. Okay, now I'm ready to make my box. Now when we do this, you definitely want to have kind of like a straight edge, because I'm going to use this to kind of like press in on my sides. And we've talked about this before, so hopefully you have like, this is like a metal ruler. I have a long one for my edge. That's like 18 inches, and this one's like a 12-inch one. But this one, I guess if you had a 6-inch one, that would work too. But you want a smaller straight edge for this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fold these just a little better. But how I'm going to do it is I'll show you first. This little edge is going to be on the outside. This will be on the inside. So when I fold it over, this piece will glue down to the side, and then this tab will fold on top of that. That's the trick. I mean, it's not a hard trick, but it's something I have to tell you. So you want to make sure you glue this long edge first. Okay, so I'm going to add glue here and here, and I'm going to glue the long edge first. Okay, that might have been a little too much glue. Okay, so now I'm gonna fold this over, and I'm gonna kind of put it on its side. It's gonna be hard to see. Maybe I can do this. Yeah, I guess. Okay. This piece will attach first, and you want to kind of square off that corner. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, that looks okay. I bumped the camera a little, but that's fine. Makes it more exciting. Got my straight edge, and I'm really just going to press down in there. So I mean, that's why this really helps, like, glue this thing. And I'm kind of gluing the other one. This little tab is on the bottom, and so hopefully these are both gluing on at the same time. I think I got it correctly. I wasn't looking very closely, but it felt like it was correct. Let's see if we got it. Yeah. Yeah, so this piece overlaps this piece. So that looks kind of nice. Okay, I'm gonna do the same on this edge. So I want to add, and now it's all funky, but I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add some glue on this long edge, short edge, kind of smearing it around with my orange tip of my glue. Okay, so this is going to go in. The long edge goes first, and then the short edge will be second. I'm going to flip this over. You may not be able to see this in camera. Why not? Let's see. But you'll just do this. We'll do this together at the same time. Okay. And then I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to push it in there. Oh, I keep bumping the camera. Awesome. Makes it more exciting. It's like Saving Private Ryan. It's like the battle of the excitement and the visceral movement, whatever. Okay. Oh, look. It's hard to see. Sometimes this, you want to make sure that this second edge really pushes up against. Mine wasn't perfect. I think it'll be okay though. I mean, this is just going to be a box after all. I don't know if I can show you. It's like it has a little extra right there, so I should have pressed it. It's okay. Or well, let's find out if it's going to be okay. I'll just adapt. Yeah, it's going to be okay. Oh, I need to press down a little more here. Did I have glue there? So, I mean, sometimes you might need to add a little more. I guess I didn't add enough glue there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add glue here. Basically all these tabs. So this is just a standard box that I'm going to use for my terrain. This isn't going to be a deck, like a deck box for my cards. The deck box is a little more complicated, and it has all the insides, and you don't want to do that for all your terrain pieces because that would take forever. Okay, so I glued here, here, here. Sometimes I have this like not perfectly like flat, so that it'll kind of rub up against the edge. If that makes sense. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, now you want to kind of hold it. Usually what I do, you want to hold all three of these edges at the same time. Sometimes what I do is I'll press down so that these two, and then I press in on this one. And then I just kind of, you know, add pressure as needed. These, again, these are cool. They change your battle zone really nicely. They're a nice size to hide a crab or a mule directly behind it. It's climbable. And then I have some special scenarios where you can use these, and it's really cool. I feel bad that you have to make 40 of these things. It's a lot of work, but if you are invested in the game, I mean, it doesn't cost you much money. You just got to print them and make them. It's time, really. But it's pretty cool to have a lot of these. 40 of them. I have 40 of them, so I use 40 of them in those missions. And it's really cool. I mean, you could use them for other games too, like cyberpunk games or Warhammer, or any like modern. Okay, so there's my shipping container. So just a simple box, not too bad. You will want to make a lot of these. If you want to play those specific scenarios I have, you'll make 40. I do have 40 of these in the PDF. So, and they all have different numbers for fun. So they're all different. I mean, that's the purpose. But there's our basic shipping container. Now, that's all you need if you're just going to make these to play the game. But I'm now going to just show you some of the extra steps needed to make your card box, right? Try to make one. If you have a lot of cards like me, it'll be really useful. So I've got a big, I'll just show you, I have a big stack of my cards, right, for junk runners. So here's all my cards, right? And I was like, I need a deck box. And they sell a lot of deck boxes, but I want to make my own deck box. So I did. So that's what inspired this shipping container. Now, this is just a regular shipping container, but there's also an inside. And your first impression is, oh, I'm going to just glue that whole thing on the inside and then fold it. But that doesn't work very well. So unfortunately, you have to cut out all of these walls and glue them in there individually. And you have to leave a little bit of a gap so that when it folds, it doesn't bubble up. Now, I mean, if you're in a hurry, you can try it, but the main one you need a gap is right here for the lid, right? So you definitely need a gap here. So here's my the one I tried to, I guess it was like my prototype, right? And I mean, it looks okay. I actually did it wrong, but I don't know if you can see it, but right here, this is lifting up because it bumps into the cards. I did not leave a gap, and so that's a problem. So you definitely want to leave a gap. I mean, it's workable, but it's not ideal. I want to make one good deck box. Hopefully one deck box should be enough to hold all your cards for junk runners for a long time, with expansions and stuff like that. Okay, so what did I do? I cut out all my individual squares, and I glued them, and I left a gap. So there's a pretty decent gap. This for the door, you definitely want to leave, that's a big gap. And you're like, oh, do I really need to leave that big of a gap? When it closes though, the gap kind of closes. You don't see it as much. So how do these panels glue in here? Like, where do they go? Well, you can kind of test fit it. This is the bottom. So it kind of looks like this carbon fiber metal, floor. That's the floor. And so and it's kind of tricky. You want to make sure you glue it on the right one. So you can kind of test fit it. So you're like, oh, okay, that's the bottom. These are the walls, but there are some scorch marks. These scorch marks will go on the edge of like where the door is going to go. So it's kind of like there's scorch kind of coming in. And you want to make sure that these shadows are going to be on the underside. And so again, you're going to want to test fit, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, so like the shadows, here's the bottom, and the shadows are on the bottom. If it was flipped, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to glue it that way, right? So just make sure that happens. You're going to glue these in, okay? And then I have one that I have ready here to glue in. So here it is. Again, I'm going to just make sure it lines up. Yeah, that looks good. I want to make sure the shadows, yeah, the shadows are underneath. The shadows are underneath. So that's good. Okay. So I'm going to glue this thing. I want to add some glue. But you do this for like every side, right? You do it for every side. I already did it to save some. I already glue all the other sides down to save some time so that this video wouldn't be super long. You want to get in those corners too. Let's see, am I in that corner? Ooh, it starts to buckle. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. You want to make sure that it's not, you have a little bit of gap for this flap too. I didn't do it as much over here. So this one I'm going to be a little extra careful. I can fold it up to see that it's gonna fold okay. Okay, it is. I'm going to press down. I'm going to use my flat edge or my straight edge to really press down. And you want to make sure that these, you're only going to make one of these, or at least I hope. Don't make more than one of these, unless you have lots of cards. You want to make lots of card decks for like, but you really only need one of these card decks for your game, right? Because this is a lot of work to glue all these in. But if you glue it in neatly and carefully, it will work really nicely, and that's what I am hoping for. Because my prototype, it wasn't lasting. It was a little fiddly, especially on, like I said, this hinge. Like I really left like a little bit of gap, and you can just test, kind of fold it, like it's not bumping into that edge, and it's glued and secured. This is the most important one. These other ones don't matter as much, but you do want them to be, they matter along these little flaps. But like this stuff, I mean, you want to have a little bit of a gap. And remember, even if it's kind of a big gap, it closes up and you don't really see it as much. But I think I'm good to go. Let me just make sure this is glued. Shaking the camera because I'm really putting a lot of pressure down. Okay, here we go. Now I'm ready, I believe. Okay, so let's try it. So it's just like, so then this part folds just like the other boxes. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. You want to get it all the way to the edge too. Smear it around. Okay, and then remember, the long edge touches first. So I have to move, I don't know if you can see it, like this comes in first, then that one. Okay, then I want to line it up. So I'm going to put it under here. I guess I can move this up so you can see a little better. And there's a little bit of a shadow. I want this to really touch. Okay, and then, so I'm kind of pressing it down. Okay, I got to use my straight edge to really get in there. It likes to pull away over here, so I'm going to try to push that back in. I guess it's working. Okay, and I really got pressed down. Trying to get in there. Okay. Not bad. This gets a little flimsy. I don't know, if you're really meticulous, you might want to print out an extra thing and then just kind of glue it here too so it's a little sturdier. I don't know how necessary that is. I'm not going to do it, but you know, you can do whatever you want. If you really want to make, you might be a better builder than I am. You might be more careful and you know, precise. That's good. I mean, precision. Ugh, I can't even get my glue in there. It's good. You should be, if you want it to, should be as perfect as you can be, as much as you want to be. Some people are kind of reckless. Sometimes I'm reckless. I just want to build something real fast, and it's like good enough. That's all good too. I have like way too much glue in there. Let me see if I can wipe it away. Let's try that. Okay, here we go. So let's see. This thing is on the outside. It's going to be like that, and then this is going to fold in. So this is on the outside. Okay, I'm going to push it in. I want to make sure that this lines up. Okay, got to get my ruler in there. Oh, totally bumped the camera. My elbow. Really close. Oh man, jeez. Well. I really want to get this. My other box was not good, so I want to make sure that this one, my prototype, was not adequate. So I want to make sure that this one, it looks like it's working out really good. That's why I have a prototype, so I figure out all my issues with building these things. Okay, that looks, oh no, okay, I need a little more over here. I need pressure over here. It's hard to stick your hand in there too. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see, let's look at the outside. Yeah, looks good, nice and crisp. I got these things. I really wanna, these are kind of flimsy. I wanna print out another one and cut out and glue right here so these are a little sturdier. On my other one they got, here I'll show you. They got a little, I don't know, it's not terrible. I wonder if I could just use these. I think I will. Oh, no, I need them. I need them for this. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, you may want to, if you're really a perfectionist, which is welcome, you may want to print out this, cut it. Remember, leave a little bit of a white gap so that they fold really easily. You just want this piece to be a little stronger. I would recommend that. But this, oh yeah, it closes much better than my other one. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to put my cards in there. Let's see, did it bump into that? No, so it's kind of fun. Don't be tempted to be like, Dave, I can make it like open on both sides and I can use that for a mission. Like 40K containers do that, like both ends open up. Don't do that because, I mean, you do whatever you want, but that's going to be a lot of work and I didn't design it to work that way. It'd probably be a pain in the butt. But don't worry, if I ever need a container to open up like this and to be able to see through, I'll make a slightly modified model in the future and a mission to go along with it. So don't break your back trying to put a lot of extra work into it. I guess, I mean, unless you love to do that, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so here are all my cards. I'm going to put all my cards in there. So I got my big stack of cards. Laminated. Oh yeah, after this video, I'm so reinforcing those other tabs. Oh gosh. Okay, here they go. So I mean, I got a lot of cards, and they fit in pretty good. Yeah, so fun. So there it is. There's the card box, card deck version. But remember, just don't make them all open up. That's a lot of work. You got to make like 40 of these. Just make all the other ones like this, where you just fold it and glue it. It's just a cube, or it's not a cube. It's a whatever. It's a rectangular box, right? You want to make all of them like this, and then you'll just have one card deck, or 2 card decks if you need an extra one, but here it is. So anyways, I hope that helps. Have fun building all your boxes, and I hope you have a lot of fun playing those cargo shipping container missions. They're pretty neat, and they change up the game a little bit. So have fun, and I'll see you in the next build video.